this webinar, faculty attendees shall be able to understand the value of faculty conduct online or netiquette and have a proper mindset on online teaching, know the latest updates on the services provided by the Center for Guidance Services, Learning Resource Center, RDIC, payroll, HRD, and the Health and Wellness Center, as well as the issues on data privacy and protection, and of course, to appreciate the importance of maintaining academic integrity. We would like to inform you that you may raise your questions using the Q&A box, and our speakers will be responding to your questions while the webinar is ongoing. And at this juncture, we would like to introduce to you our University President, Dr. Caroline Marian S. Enriquez, for her opening message.
Good afternoon to all, my deans who are present, to HRD, and to our new members of the Fatima community. I welcome each and every one of you to Our Lady of Fatima University, especially now that we are in strange and a little bit difficult times. And my challenge to all of you is, as we try to deliver our instruction and as we try to teach our students, or as we try to help out in the university in whatever position we may have, let's always be mindful of the needs of others, especially of our students, and how we can best help them achieve their goals as students of Fatima. In Fatima, we try to make sure that we listen, we are compassionate, and at the same time are always fair to our students. When we started earlier on in 1967, that's about 52 years ago, we started from humble beginnings. And we never forget to look back at how we started, that we would not be where we are now if not for our stakeholders who have been with us, maybe not the same cohort, but some of our students are already grandchildren of some of our original students. So we thank them for their support, and we'd like to make sure that we're able to. So with that, my only ask from you as my new faculty members or new members of the Fatima community is to always make sure that we place ourselves in the positions of our stakeholders. We're not above them. In fact, we're here for them. So with that, I welcome each and every one of you to Our Lady of Fatima, and I hope that your stay with us here will be as fruitful as possible, and that we always find ways in our own teachings, in our own ways to be as innovative and as interesting to our students all the time. So with that, thank you and welcome to Our Lady of Fatima University. Thank you, Raquel.
Thank you very much, Dr. Enriquez. We are all aware that this pandemic created challenges to both teaching and learning, but OLFU, as one of the autonomous universities in the country, shall continue to rise and is ready to take on the challenge of providing quality education. Our quest for going online started 2 years ago when the university adopted the learning management system, Canvas. And to talk about essential information on Canvas and netiquette, please join me in welcoming our first speaker for this afternoon. She is the head of the Education, Learning, Innovation, and Technology Enhancement, or ELITE. Let us all welcome Ms. Marisa Chua.
So thank you, Ms. Kay, for the introduction. Good afternoon to our University President, Dr. Caroline Marian S. Enriquez, to our Vice President for Academic Affairs, to all the campus administrators, to all the college deans, program heads, organizers of this event, and to the new members of the OLFU family or the OLFU community, good afternoon. So for today, I'm going to discuss about the netiquette and the use of the Canvas in our university in an online education. Okay, so the first topic, of course, is about the Elite Center. So I'm going to introduce first my department. Second is the netiquette. And of course, the third one is the Canvas learning management system. Okay. So let me start with the Elite Center. So I want to introduce first my department. Okay, so Elite Center, also known as the Education, Learning, Innovation, and Technology Enhancement Center. So this is the support unit of the university. We are under the supervision of our Vice President for Academic Affairs. So the Elite Center was established last 2019, and we offer instructional technology support services for the faculty and students. So the center also manages the learning management system, as I've mentioned, to all its campuses. So we have 6 campuses. So we manage all the use of the learning management system in all our campuses. But the main office of the Elite Center is in Quezon City. So Elite Center has different support offices located in other campuses of the university, specifically Valenzuela, Antipolo, Pampanga, Nueva Ecija, or the Cabanatuan campus. And last but not the least is the Laguna campus. So each support office has the LMS coordinators to support and attend to the needs of the users, both students and faculty. So before the pandemic, there's no major adjustment with the Elite Center because before the pandemic, we already have our on-site and at the same time online support to assist the students and the faculty in using the Canvas learning management system. So this pandemic, we're not that much affected in terms of providing assistance to our users. The next we have is so I will now proceed with my next topic, which is the netiquette, or this is also known as the online etiquette, or this is the correct way or acceptable way of communicating or behaving on the internet. So netiquette is also known as netiquette rather is also known as the network etiquette. Okay. Even if we are engaging with our students in a full virtual environment, it should not permit us not to practice the netiquette. And I think that we should be more careful, especially teachers. So the university provided us the netiquette guide for our students, and you can see it in our Canvas module. So once you open your Canvas module, you will see that. And you should discuss this with your students next week. Okay, so this guide discusses that students immersed in an online learning environment are bound with the university policies, rules, and regulations written in the student handbook. And at the same time, you should abide the existing code of conduct and guidelines while the students are online. So, moreover, faculty members are also expected to follow rules and regulations while you are engaged online. Okay. Later on, one of the speakers will talk about the Data Privacy Act, and I think she will also touch about the Cybercrime Prevention Act. Okay. Now, let me discuss, and then also later on, Dr. Dino will discuss different platforms that you can use while you are conducting synchronous classes. And let me share some of the important things to be discussed with your students in using this platform. Okay. Now, so in joining synchronous session, students should use their Fatima G Suite accounts with the domain at student.fatima.edu.ph and the teachers as well. So as the new member of the Fatima community, I guess you already have your Fatima G Suite account. So we encourage you to use that and be proud to be part of this university. So also students should use their complete name and not using their alias in joining online classes. So likewise with the faculty members, you should put your complete name. Now, if the students will upload their photos, make sure that this is their recent photo and not the photo of their favorite artist or favorite cartoon character. So, and I guess this is part of the data privacy agreement that our students sign. The teachers should also validate the student's identity. So how are you going to do it? So you have to check the attendance and ask them to turn on their cameras for proper identification. So this is to ensure that any misrepresentation will not happen. Okay. And of course, to have a smooth virtual environment, we also recommend it to be punctual or be on time. Okay, this is not only for the students but also to our dear faculty members. So advise our students to attend their class 5 minutes before, and of course, the teacher should be available 15 minutes before the class schedule. Also, the attire of the students and most especially the faculty members should be properly observed. So the wearing of t-shirts, sandal, or sleeveless are also not encouraged. Also, we should advise our students turn off their microphones unless they are asked to speak. Same with faculty in attending trainings or webinars like this. We should also practice these salient points to eliminate unnecessary noise and not to distract the person talking. Okay? So number one is be respectful. Be respectful, mind your words, the student's time and space. So even if you are not engaging or if you're not connected with your students in person, you should be careful with the words you say and even the words that you write. uh, Teachers should keep in mind that feelings and opinions of others, especially your students, because sometimes it's easier for us to say as hurtful or disrespectful things without standing face to face with someone. And in addition, the time and the space of the students are also important. Should also consider that. Especially some of our students, they just have a limited internet allowance or they have a limited mobile data. So when attending classes with your students, make sure it is worth their time, their money, and their space. So give your agenda or plan for each session, and of course, avoid skipping your classes. Okay, so number two is read out loud before sending. So I guess all of us should be aware of this. Okay, before being cognizant with the things we are writing and sending. So the use of strong languages, the use of all capital letters and with the exclamation point. Sometimes it will give a wrong impression that we are shouting, right? So you have to read it loud before sending it. So in that way, we can also check if we are committing typographical or grammatical errors. Number three, okay, humor versus sarcasm. Okay, so I guess it's good that a teacher should have a sense of humor. Okay, I know you agree because it makes the class more um, engaging. It's used to or it's added para attention to our students. You can easily catch the students' attention if the teacher has a sense of humor. But bear in mind, teachers, that being funny teacher is not being rude. Okay, so it's totally different thing. So be mindful of the choice of your words, even the gestures. Okay, especially sometimes if you have a minor students or a student, sometimes there are some students that are too sensitive. Okay, so be careful with the jokes or with the humors that we're giving to our students. Okay. Tip number four, share your resources. Okay. If you're sharing something to your students or to anyone else, make sure to cite their references. Okay. So do not own something that you did not do or um, something that you got from someone else. Okay. And number five, about posting and sharing. Okay. Right now, since we are in an academe, sometimes students are very much parang observant with the way, with the things that we post or with the things that we share. So posting or sharing private photos, especially in our profession, because the students are looking to us as the role model. Okay, so be careful in posting or sharing uh, private photos in a public environment. Okay, okay. So I guess you learned something from this, and I hope you got something from this topic. Okay, the next one. So I'm now going to proceed with the Canvas learning management system of the university. Okay, so the Canvas learning management system. Okay, this is widely used not only in the top universities in the Philippines, but also in other countries. This pandemic, it drives all universities to go for an LMS. Okay, and the good thing in our university is that nauna na tayo eh. Okay, um, we started first semester of 2019, but as I've mentioned earlier in my talk, the Elite Center was established January 2019. So we have a good leadership with our university president. Last year, 2018, nakita niya na that there is a really need for the learning management system. So, and it happens. So great that we are prepared. Okay. Now, with the use of the learning management system, these are the things that we should um, be focusing on, or we should follow. Okay, so the first one is the use of the gadgets. Okay, so in connecting with the learning management system or in Canvas, we should use different devices such as personal computer, laptop, iPads, iPhones, so any smartphone devices. So you can use this one to connect with Canvas. And since this is a web-based application, we can use different web browsers. But I strongly suggest to use the Chrome and the Mozilla Firefox and make sure that you're using the updated browser. Now, why I'm suggesting these two browsers? Because there are cases that the students are taking the exam, so or you're giving lectures to your students with the use of Canvas, or you're demonstrating something with your students. So better to use these two types of web browsers. And of course, for added security, our university implements a single sign-on feature to use Canvas. So meaning, since all of us, we have our Fatima G Suite account, you have to use your Fatima G Suite account for you to connect with Canvas. So I guess last January 19 to 21, you attended the Canvas training wherein the LMS coordinators discuss how you're going to open your Canvas account using the G Suite account. So I hope you remember that. So again, if you want to open your Canvas account, you have to open your Fatima G Suite account or your Fatima Gmail account. You have to click the Google Waffle and look for the Canvas LMS icon. Now, if you have your mobile devices, you can also use your Canvas learning management system. So you can just download the Canvas app. So there are two available apps. So one is for the student and one is for the teacher. So just simply download these two applications. Okay. So what else? So apart from these things that I mentioned, inside your canvas, you can also view or you can also see blueprints. Okay. Right now, the blueprints. I think since you're a new member of the Fatima community, you're not yet assigned or appointed as a course developer. But siguro later on in the coming semesters, your college deans will ask you to develop a blueprint also, or you will develop one course also. Okay, so the course blueprint, it allows the Canvas admins to create content. So if you want to create something inside your Canvas, you can do it in a blueprint. Okay. Now we have here, we already give colleges the basic requirements in creating the blueprint. So the blueprint should be segregated by weeks. So meaning if you open your Canvas course, you will see there the topics are segregated by weeks. So there are weeks 1 up to weeks 18 because we have 18 weeks for the entire semester. And the week 1 is allotted for the orientation. And then I guess one of the speakers later on, will discuss about the things that we should uh, discuss next week. Okay. Now, for the weekly topics, these are the things that we can have inside the blueprint. Of course, we can put assignment, quizzes, we can upload our PowerPoint, we can upload our handouts in a form of PDF file or in a form of Word document. You can also see their different pages. You can also connect to different web links, or you can connect to different websites, and you can also use different third-party applications. Okay, so that's the content of your blueprint. Okay, so blueprint makes it easy for the administrators to design a specific course in the college. Okay, so next one, I'm going to show you a sample. This is how the blueprint looks like. Okay, so this is the homepage. This is a sample homepage of one of my subjects or one of my courses in the university. So we're in the homepage contains the banner image of the course. It also contains the welcome message for our student, the course description. You can also see there the course outcome, the grading system, course requirement also. So that's the content of the homepage. Next one, once you open the blueprint, you can also see the syllabus. Okay, so normally each department uploaded the copy of the student syllabus. We also suggested to have the logo of the university. Okay, and the third one, of course, we have here the modules. Okay, so if you will look at your screen, I have here the week 1, week 2, and so on and so forth. So we have there 18 weeks. Okay, so aside from the blueprint, we also have the child course. So the child course, this is also known as the associated courses, or this is the courses that you will receive, or this is courses that you will view from your dashboard, or these are the courses that your college deans or program heads assigned to you. So if you will go to your Canvas account, in your dashboard, you will see all the courses that you will handle for this semester. And every semester, um, we concluded all the courses. Okay, so on the following semester, you will receive another set of child courses. And right now, we enhance the content of the child courses. Right now, you can easily identify the section of each child course so that you can easily locate or trace your section. So, for example, you're handling programming subjects for IT, as an example. If you're handling two sections of IT, you will see there in your dashboard section 1 of programming 1 and section 2 of programming 1 also. So that's for you to easily identify the section of your courses. Okay. Now, apart from the child courses, by the way, just to reiterate, but I know this was already discussed to you by during the training or the training last uh 3 days ago, I guess. Okay. If you want to update something to your child courses, it will not affect the blueprint. Okay, but of course you have to ask the permission first of the program head and their college deans if you want to add something from your child course. And of course, you want you to fully utilize your Canvas. Okay, next one is the use of the ebooks. Okay, so in our Canvas, okay, in our Canvas, we also have our ebooks. So right now we have 53 manuals, both for senior high school and college. This is available already in your Canvas course. So once you open your Canvas, there are some courses that have their ebooks. So once you open it, you can see it already in your Canvas course. All you have to do is to publish it so that your students can view it. So the college has assigned different authors to develop these manuals for our university. Okay, and of course, the last one, sorry, since I only have a limited time. Okay, so I was only given 20 minutes to discuss. Okay, and the last one is the external apps. So apart from the things that I've mentioned, so apart from adding lectures or adding PowerPoint presentation to your Canvas courses, you can also view different apps inside your Canvas account. So of course we have the EBSCO host. So this is an online research platform. So this is um, I think one of the speakers will discuss this one later on. So this can be integrated in a specific course. Okay. So this is very helpful in finding article related to your course, and you can apply citations in doing a research. Next one is the Labster. So Labster is a virtual laboratory simulation. Um, Currently, most of the colleges in our university, especially the allied programs, they're using Labster. Okay. The Labster simulations are part of every Canvas module. So you can integrate the Labster simulation or the Labster exercises in your Canvas course, and then your students can do the exercises, okay, or the online exercises. Okay. And of course, we have our Lecturio. Okay. So the Lecturio is also an LMS integrated with Canvas. So though this is just a supplemental to our Canvas lectures. So Lecturio right now, the College of Medicine is using Lecturio for their lectures. And we also have the badges. Okay. For example, you want to give a reward for your students, so you can give them a badge. Okay. Next one is the math type. So the math type, this is an open source application wherein this is an interactive equation editor. So meaning if you want to add mathematical equations or mathematical symbols in your lectures, in your quizzes, in your assignments, you can easily do it, or you can easily embed it in your Canvas module, because we have the math type application in your Canvas. And this is an open source application. Okay. And of course, the last one. So we have our Vimeo. So this is an online video platform. So you can also embed videos in your Canvas pages. Okay. Um, Next one. So aside from this external applications that I've mentioned, uh, we can also integrate something from Canvas, or to Canvas rather. Okay. Sorry. Okay. So we also have the Kahoot, and we also have the Jamboard. I don't know if we have much time, but I have the video here on how you can connect Kahoot and Jamboard to your Canvas account. So Kahoot is a game-based learning platform, while the Jamboard, this is a digital whiteboard. So Jamboard is part of the G Suite application. So since you already have your G Suite account, you can utilize this application, the use of the digital whiteboard. Okay, siguro po, because we're running out of time, we have a limited time, I guess. I'll just share this to all of you. So I'll just share the video so that you can watch it and you can follow the step-by-step procedure on how you're going to integrate Kahoot to your Canvas course. So let's move this one forward. Okay, thank you. Okay, so this is a Jamboard. So as I've mentioned, you can use the Jamboard using your G Suite account. So you click the Google Waffle, and then you can see here the Jamboard. So the Jamboard is very um, effective. For example, you want to give something to your students, you want them to engage, or you want them to collaborate. So you can share the Jamboard, and the students can just put their um, insights. They can share their opinions using the digital whiteboard Jamboard. Okay, so next. Okay, so I think I have here a short demonstration on how you're going to integrate Jamboard with your Canvas course. This is very quick lang naman. Okay, so once you open your Jamboard, you have to click the plus sign for you to create a Jamboard. And you have to assign a name for your Jamboard. Okay, and then you can put anything in your Jamboard. You can put a text, you can put an image, you can put a sticky notes, you can put different shapes. Okay, and aside from that, you can create multiple frames. So for example, frame 1 is for group 1, frame 2 is for group 2, something like that. So each group, they will have their share, or they can put something on each frame. Okay, so I think what I'm doing right now there is I'm deleting different frames or panel. Okay, and then once you're done with the Jamboard, you can also share this one with your students so that the students can add something. Okay, so I'll just share this na lang po okay, I'll just share this na lang. So you can use different colors of the pen. So especially if you like to use different colors, and you can draw it. You can maximize this one if you have aside from using your mouse, you can use, if you have your stylus pen, okay, you can use this. Or you have a tablet with a pen, okay, so you can put a sticky notes there. Okay, and once you put the sticky notes, of course, you can change the color. You can maximize. Okay, you can tilt it. Okay, you can duplicate. Okay, you can edit the content, or you can edit the text. So again, the digital whiteboard, this is good to ask students to have their participation. So what are their insights? What are their suggestions, opinions? They can just post it there. Okay, so I'll just skip this. Can we just proceed on the next slide? Okay, so yeah, that's the way on how you're going to integrate now the jumper that you created earlier. This is now the step on how you're going to connect that or use that in your Canvas module. I'm going to share na lang with you guys kasi medyo maliit yung screen, and I think it's too fast. Okay, but we want you to maximize the applications that we are giving you. I guess yesterday on the third day of your Canvas training, two of the speakers discussed to you the different applications that you can use, and aside from that, they also discuss how you're going to do Canvas troubleshooting. Okay, so let's move on the next slide. Okay, so I guess this is the last one. So again, thank you so much for listening. So again, if you have questions or if you want to ask something, you can send an email to me at mgchu@fatima.edu.ph, or you can simply send an email to the Elite Center at elite_center@fatima.edu.ph. Again, good afternoon and thank you so much for listening.
Thank you very much, Ms. Chua. During this time when face-to-face classroom teaching is not yet allowed, online classes are seen as the only promising solution to sustain teaching and learning in a safe learning environment. Again, Ma'am Shua, thank you very much. And to talk about the program and services offered by the Center for Guidance Services, let us all welcome the overall head of the Center for Guidance Services and concurrently the chairperson of the Center for Quality Management, Dr. Annalisa P. Ocampo.
Thank you, Ms. Kay, and good afternoon, especially to our University President, Dr. Enriquez, our Vice President for Academic Affairs, Dr. Heraclio de la Grada, our campus administrators, college deans, and department heads, and of course the HRD. And of course, I almost forgot our new teachers. Welcome po to Our Lady of Fatima University. So allow me to share with you the guidance services that we offer to all our students. As teachers, I would like to request that you also get familiar with all of this so that you can also advise your students to get in touch with us in case they will be needing our services. So the pandemic last year compelled us to convert all our services from offline to online. At first, we were quite reluctant and somewhat at a loss on how we can shift to online. But because of the guidance of our administrators, we were able to embrace the change and took the challenge of going online. Next slide, please. Now we realize that using this online platform, our services became faster, easier for those who are in need. Now let me now proceed to the basic guidance services. I'd like to enumerate the basic guidance services, programs, and activities that we offer. Of course, the most important service that we offer is counseling, followed by information. In counseling, we do have individual and group counseling. We also have information services through the orientation programs and also the concierge. Then we also have focus group discussions. We take charge of the evaluation of faculty, which is of great concern to you, I think. And research, we engage into research. We also take charge of monitoring our students. We also conduct webinars. And also, we are in charge of the career and placement programs and services. Although there's a separate office that is responsible for this, we are in direct partnership with the Central Placement Office. Now, let me proceed to the details of each of the service that we offer. Of course, like what I've mentioned earlier, the very important and we consider the very heart of the guidance services is actually counseling. And this is very important, especially during this pandemic time. Aside from those who really get in touch with us for counseling, we also conduct one-on-one counseling with a particular batch of students every semester. So last semester, we had the first year and the grade 11. Chat program is actually one of the most important counseling programs that we have. Here, students are invited, next slide please. Students are invited via Zoom or Google Meet to chat with us virtually that somehow give them a feeling of belongingness to the university. We also have FGDs. Next slide, please. Yeah, so we also have focus group discussions to accommodate bigger number of students. Here we have group sessions focused on one important topic that the students themselves identified. Like for example, if they really need tips on how to manage time, how to manage their stress, how to be successful in online classes. So that is actually the focus of our discussions. Now, one of the most important things that we do in counseling is we really make ourselves available for counseling. We actually post our personal contact number so that we will be in touch or we will be reached by our students, and we post the schedule of each of the registered guidance counselor that is open for counseling each day. So next we go to the next program. Okay, so orientation program. This is part of the information service that we give to the students. And our orientation program this time became easier too when we went online because all students in one program across the 6 campuses of the university are now able to get together, to meet together in one big Zoom event at the same time. So we take charge of that orientation. Part of the information service is what we call as the concierge. Yes, sir? The next slide, yes. I know that a lot will agree with me, especially all the administrators that are present in this program, that this is really one of the most innovative programs of the university that the university came up with during this pandemic time. This is actually a daily virtual office that accommodate concerns of any nature of students, even the parents. The guidance office helps in this virtual office together with all other student services like the registrar's office, the accounting office, and even the elite that takes charge of the canvas. So this, you can also access this. Actually, some teachers also get into the concierge to ask their concerns. So this is also open to you, our dear teachers. Next is so the Center for Guidance Services is also also responsible for the online faculty evaluation of the students. This is also done online through access to the LMS, which is known as the Canvas. Okay, so we take charge of this, and we usually conduct the faculty evaluation every middle of the midterm period. Okay, next, sir. We also conduct webinars, okay? Specifically for this period, we conduct webinars on mental health that help the students manage themselves psychologically. Last year, we had a series of webinars that were focused on mental health. We even invited external speakers to conduct this to our students. And lastly, we have the career and placement programs. Yes, sir, for the next slide. Like what I mentioned earlier, we are in direct partnership with the Central Placement Office. It's a separate office. We work together with CPO. Career development seminars are provided to students with varying topics depending on their level. We also assist alumni through the university career, the CPS. Okay, so this is a university search engine portal that is maintained by the office, the Central Placement Office, that aims to place alumni seeking jobs. Okay, so these are all the services that we would like you to be familiar with. And I hope, like what I've mentioned, I hope you can share this with the students and encourage them to see us in case they will be needing specially counseling. So with that, I'd like to say thank you, and especially to Dr. Rojas for inviting me again to share our guidance services to our new teachers. Good afternoon, everyone.
Thank you very much, Dr. Acampo. But before we move on to our next topic, we would like to call on our Vice President for Academic Affairs, Dr. Heracleo Lagrada, to deliver his message. Good afternoon, Doc. Dr. Lagrada.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Can you hear me now?
Yes, Doc, we can hear you now.
Yes, I'm sorry about that. I had to answer a phone call. Good afternoon, everyone, especially to the organizers of this onboarding of our new faculty members, but of course, to the resource speakers, and most especially to you who are incoming members of the faculty of the university. According to the list, there are now 82 participants to our onboarding course. There are a few things that I would just like to bring up to you as some kind of a reminder as new or incoming faculty members of the university. The principal roles of a teacher, regardless of the level of learners he is teaching, is to inspire, motivate, encourage, and educate. But to be able to do this, the teacher must himself be first inspired. He must himself be first motivated. He must himself be first encouraged. And most especially, he must be knowledgeable and educated. We say that we cannot give what we do not have. In like manner, we cannot teach that which we do not know. It is therefore incumbent upon every one of us, every teacher, to know and be thoroughly and confidently knowledgeable of the subject, lesson, or topic that he is to teach. He is a resource specialist. Not only must he know, but he should be able to locate the sources of teaching learning materials. He should and must understand human nature and the psychological and physiological principles on how human beings learn, interact, and behave. These are things which you have learned in your undergraduate degrees, but they are as applicable now as any time. Please bear in mind that you have been taken in as faculty members of the university because there are students to be taught. Take away the students, and there would be no reason for any one of us to be here. So handle and teach your students well. Our work as educators at the Our Lady of Fatima University is directed towards the full development of our students so that they may be equipped with the knowledge, skills, and values not only as professionals but as leaders in their respective professions. We welcome you to Our Lady of Fatima University. Familiarize yourselves with the mission, vision, and core values of the university. For as long as you are part of the university, do your share to make it even better, if not the best. Take pride in being a faculty member of the Our Lady of Fatima University. Speak well of your work, your fellow employees, and your university. We hope that your stay in the university would be most enjoyable, productive, and fulfilling. Welcome, new faculty members to the university, and mabuhay. Thank you very much. Okay.
Thank you po, Doc. Moving
Uh,
forward to our next topic, we have invited one of the senior librarians of Valenzuela campus to talk about the available resources for both students and faculty members. Let us all welcome Mr. Michael William Katahan.
Uh, Thank you very much for that introduction, Ms. Kay. Again, to our new faculty members, welcome to Our Lady of Fatima University. So today, I'm going to talk about the LRC services as well as the electronic resources that you can use in your teaching. So first is our online reference service that is available from Monday to Sunday. This service officially started last semester and it caters the students and faculty members of Our Lady of Fatima University. So if you need any assistance in looking for electronic journals and ebooks, kindly send an email to lrc@fatima.edu.ph and there will be designated librarians who will answer these queries within the day. So I highly suggest that you use your Fatima email every time you send an email. So please take note that you need to provide your name, your email address, employee number, your program, and your topic and concern. Okay. Uh, Next one is EBSCOhost. It is one of our electronic database wherein you can access ebooks and e-journals, both for allied health and non-allied health programs. So, as well as mentioned by Ms. Marisa a while ago, it is accessible through our learning management system, Canvas. So, next slide, please. In this slide, you can see the subjects and leading publishers who contribute electronic resources to EBSCOhost. So, next po. Next one is Science Direct. Science Direct is a leading provider of peer-reviewed electronic journals under the science, technology, and health information. So the resources that you find here will surely help you in your research work. So in order to access Science Direct remotely, you must first activate your personal accounts. Later, our RDIC head, Dr. Michael Dino, will present tutorial videos on how to access EBSCO host and activate personal accounts for Science Direct. So next slide, please. The last one is our LRC webpage that is also administered by a group of librarians. So by visiting our webpage, we can browse different open educational resources as well as educational videos that were curated by the librarians. So on how to access this LRC webpage. So in order to access our LRC webpage, next slide please po. Kindly log into your Fatima email, proceed to Google Waffle and select OLFU LRC. So that icon po that you can see in your slide. So, and you can browse ebooks by subject and by program. So for any questions or concerns regarding our services, please email us in our official email, lrc@fatima.edu.ph. So again, thank you very much for listening and have a great day ahead po.
Thank you very much, Mr. Katahan, for sharing with us a wide source of information that our employees and students can enjoy online. So, research, development, and innovation are essential components of the triadic functions of universities. These areas are also being challenged during this pandemic, and at OLFU, doing research and promoting innovation must and shall continue. I am pleased to introduce to you the Director of Research Development and Innovation Center, Dr. Michael Joseph Dino, to share with us the programs and services of RDIC and the available online resources for faculty members.
Thank you for the introduction and a pleasant day to everyone. As your RDIC Director, I am pleased to share with you some important concepts and reminders with regards to research, development, and innovation in the university. Your role as educators in our university is tied with research and innovation. OLFU, being an autonomous university, must continue its research advocacies even during these challenging times. This is an excellent opportunity for us to refine our research products and produce publishable papers while serving as teachers in our institution. The comforts of the work from home setup is conducive for scholarly work. As a matter of fact, OLFU received its highest number of published papers last year coming from the different programs of the university. Your RDIC is pleased to support and assist in your paper refinement and publication. Though we are not into face-to-face setup, doing scholarly work is possible during the pandemic. For instance, faculty members can produce theoretical papers and do data gathering through Zoom setup and online survey. There are also lots of topics to be explored, and to date, RDIC has produced more than 20 papers supporting programs and policies in the university. How can we navigate the challenges and issues as well as identifying the voice and satisfaction of our students in our flexible learning program? There are numerous reasons to produce patentable inventions. The university has produced 28 patent and or registrations since the start of the ECQ. Publication of research work within and outside the university is an ongoing exercise. Your RDIC has been providing online or virtual services even during the pre-pandemic. I am pleased to share the channels on where and how to avail of these RDIC services. Faculty members can visit the RDIC online research portal that can be found in the URL presented herein. This portal is limited to undergraduate ethics review, data analytics, and integrity check. The university offers data analytics services with the use of both quantitative and qualitative tools. Necessary requirements to upload are the completed application form, manuscript, tools used in the study, and data set in Excel sheet if quantitative type of analysis is required. Ethics review is also available, and we are proud to be accredited by the Philippine Health Research Ethics Board since 2010. As a general rule, your study should receive ethical clearance prior to data gathering. The requirements are the upload of research manuscript protocol, consent form, along with the completed application form. Academic Academic integrity check, commonly known as the Turnitin check, is also useful not only for research products, but for the Canvas module contents that teachers are developing. As faculty members, we need to make sure that we are publishing original work and sources must be credited appropriately to avoid plagiarism. There are two ways to avail of this service. One is through the submission of the needed requirements through the portal, or to request your own personal Turnitin account that you can use to check the submissions of your students. To request for a personal access, you need to accomplish the Turnitin account online request form. You are required to use your official university email or else your request will not be approved. Upon successful registration, you will receive your access link and password through your email account. Let me also take this opportunity to remind everyone that the university recommends the use of learning resources from various sources. OLFU takes pride in its investment and subscription to top learning databases. There are also a good number of open educational resources available at the LRC microsite located in your Google account waffle. These resources can be integrated and used creatively in delivering your lessons in all aspects of teaching and learning. Our faculty members must lead the way in using and maximizing the utilization of these resources, not because we are required to, but these are the top of the line resources for effective teaching and learning. Let us also provide the information on how to access these databases to our student clients. The university has invested so much to provide us with the access to thousands and even millions of first rate books, research, and articles through these portals. So let me share some of this at this point. Science Direct is considered as the best educational learning resource and is currently used by top universities worldwide like Harvard. Most of our publications can also be found at Science Direct. This database features 16 million of research resources, over 330,000 topic pages. So you will be ensured that your programs are completely covered. Accessing Science Direct is a breeze. You need to do a one-time registration using your OLFU credentials, and the process is the same for our students as long as they have the OLFU Gmail account. It's a best practice to discuss this during your onboarding week. How to videos are included in your orientation slide provided by the UCQM through your deans and program heads. An excellent source for everything ebooks is EBSCOhost, and we are proud that we have this subscription in our university. However, for our students to get access to EBSCO, faculty members should include the access link through your Canvas courses. To do this, you must visit the courses that you are teaching in Canvas and add the external tool EBSCOhost in your initial set of modules. Publish the course and require your students to visit the link whenever they need it to access these resources. This procedure is required to all faculty members for your students to have access to EBSCOhost ebooks. Again, you and your students cannot access EBSCOhost unless you add this external tool to your Canvas modules. This current flexible learning setup is also the best opportunity for our faculty members to create and maintain their account to various research and social networking sites. The RDIC recommends ResearchGate. It features the initial promise of connecting researchers, providing statistics that can serve as a measure for research presence, and a platform to share the current and completed projects. And for me, what I love about this site is the idea of answering and responding to inquiries from researchers within and outside my field across all levels of research competence. So creating your ResearchGate account is similar to signing up to Facebook. Just include OLFU as your affiliation. If you would like to know more about the step-by-step procedures and other useful video guides, tips, and tricks in teaching and learning, you can visit my YouTube channel, #DinoFi. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Your RDIC acknowledges your challenges and efforts during this flexible learning. Now, more than ever, my department is supportive of you and your role as shapers of our dear students. With the outstanding support of our administration and your proactive participation, nothing is impossible. We are all in this together and we will definitely rise to the top. Thank you very much for listening, and we hope that we will continue to give the best to our students as teachers and researchers.
Thank you very much, Dr. Dino. I know many of our new faculty members are now inspired to do research. So moving on to our next topic, which is data protection in an online environment. We believe that data protection in education is an important responsibility of every teacher. And to discuss data protection in online environments, please join me in welcoming our Data Protection Officer, Ms. Lucelle Garcia.
Thank you very much, Ma'am Kay. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to OLFU family. Now, it gives me immense pleasure to present to all of you the updates in Data Privacy Office insofar as online environments in education sector is concerned. So my topic is all about data protection in online environments. So firstly, let me walk you through with the law. The Republic Act 10173, or the Data Privacy Act of 2012, fully titled, is an act protecting individual personal information in information and communication systems in the government and private sector. Now, simply stated, it is the right of an individual not to have private information about himself disclosed and to live freely from surveillance and intrusion. Now, be it noted that giving out personal data comes with a potential cost. Security breaches happen where personal information gets destroyed, lost, lost, altered or disclosed, accessed, and processed without consent. Many times, these instances led to identity theft, fraud, blackmail, and damaged reputation, among individuals and organizations. So therefore, this law protect individual personal information and in information and communication systems in government sector, and thereby creating the National Privacy Commission as its implementing arm. Next slide, please. Now, who are the key players of the law? We do have four key players, key DPA actors. The first one is the NPC, or the National Privacy Commission. It is considered as the implementing agency of the DPA. Now, the NPC exists to ensure compliance of the country and the organizations with international standards set for data protection. Secondly, we do have our data subjects. Now, data subjects are individuals whose personal information or personal data is processed. Now, in schools, so in school setting, the students are foremost one of the most important data subjects. Now, the school is processing their information from enrollment to as far as placement. Now, another one, we have the employees. Now, the employees, including faculty members and staff, are equally important data subjects. Their personal and sensitive information are processed by the different departments, such as the HRD, to ensure services are fully given to them or to better the services offered. Thirdly, we do have the Personal Information Controller. Now, our PIC, or Personal Information Controller, is OLFU. The departments processing personal and sensitive information are subunits and under the umbrella of the university. Now, they may be called as process owner, but the controller or PIC will always be OLFU. So whatever is done by the different departments will always be reflective to OLFU. Now, this is also to remove confusion that teachers are individually considered as PIC. They are under OLFU, and so they are not. And we do have our personal information processor, or the PIP. So simply stated, our PIP are also commonly known as the third party. So whenever we outsource, there should always be a third party agreement to ensure protection of the university. Next slide, please. Now, what are the PIC or PIP's primary obligation? Now, we do have three primary obligations, including as teachers. The first one is to adhere to the data privacy principles. Now, we do have three basic privacy principles. We have transparency. So whatever it is that you collect from the students or from the faculty, it should be made known to the data owner. Secondly, there must be a legitimate purpose. Why is it that you are collecting the data? What is that for? Is the purpose legitimate? So so we adhere to the data privacy principle of the legitimate purpose. And lastly, we adhere to the privacy principle of proportionality. You have to make sure that you only get the information that you need. Okay? Excess of it will not be adhering to the data privacy principles. So you only get the information that you need. So that is proportionality. Now, secondly, we uphold the data subject rights. Now, organizations who deal with personal details, whereabouts, preferences, are duty bound to observe and respect the data privacy rights. Now, among the different rights are the following. We have the right to information, we have the right to access, data portability, rectification, erasure or blocking. You have the right to object. And if you feel that your personal data has been misused, maliciously disclosed, or improperly disposed, or if any of the rights discussed have been violated, the data subject has the right to file a complaint and seek for damages. Now, in OLFU, we do not want any complaints against us, hence this orientation. Next slide, please. Now, in handling data, the personal and sensitive information should be our caution points so that we will always be guided of its proper disclosure. Next slide, please. Thank you. So the personal information refers to the information from which the identity of an individual is apparent or can be reasonably and directly ascertained, or when put together with other information would directly and certainly identify an individual. Now, for example, we have the name, the address, the phone number, the email, and the email address. Next slide, please. Now, apart from personal information, we also have the sensitive personal information. So the SPI refers to information about individuals' race, ethnic origin, and those which you can see in the slide. Now, in schools, so may I just highlight the sensitive personal information in schools. Now, in schools, education records are those records, files, documents, and other materials which, number one, contain information directly related to a student and maintain the educational institution on or behalf of the educational institution. Now, this may include, but not limited to, the following. We have examination records, we have assessment scores, we have student discipline cases, we have student attendance, personal and family background, and then health records. Now, for our faculty members, the government-issued IDs are also considered as sensitive personal information. So, minsan excited tayo dun sa ating government-issued IDs at saka pinost natin sa ating social media. So, that contains sensitive personal information. So, might as well be private about the sensitive personal information. Now, may I also highlight the learning management system? Now, Canvas, as what was mentioned by Ms. Chua, is the OLFU's official learning management system. Now, all activities pertaining to online learning should, to the extent possible, be conducted on the platform. Now, question: why do we require as much as possible submission through LMS? It's very simple. Where the official LMS or OPP or online productivity platform adopted by an educational institution, we are at least assured that the LMS has adequate data protection features and is governed by an appropriate policy. So as much as possible, dun po talaga tayo magbibigay or magpapasubmit ng ating mga activities. Now, as per National Privacy Commission's PHE Bulletin Number 16, next slide please. May I present to you the do's and don'ts for teachers? Now, teachers must always consider three things. First, the privacy. Second is equity. And the third is peculiarity. Now, teachers, in privacy, students might feel uncomfortable displaying their living space to their peers, now, especially during online class. Now, family members may not also want their image or video be captured, or a student might also take a screenshot of their classmates' video feeds, which is prone to cyberbullying and privacy issues. So later on, I will give you tips for you to be able to be in adherence with these principles. Now, secondly, is we have equity. So not all students do have reliable internet access. So some might have low bandwidth, cannot afford to stream videos, or have limited access to digital devices. So as teachers, we have to assess the need for camera on. Kasi ito yung laging tanong sa atin, pwede po bang mag-camera on? Of course, yes, pwede. Later on, I will discuss further. So just assess the need for camera on whatever based on the needed things or needed activities that you have to do online. And thirdly is the peculiarity. Some students might feel shy or anxious on camera. So it might also affect their performance in class. So what are the do's and don'ts? Next slide, please. Again, taking into consideration those which are mentioned, here are some tips based from NPC's PHE Bulletin number 16. First, making webcam use optional in online class. Now, for online proctoring, we do have separate policy on that. But when we conduct our classes, as per NPC PHE Bulletin number 16, we can make it optional, making webcam use optional in online classes. Now, a while ago, Ma'am Shua mentioned about checking the attendance of the students in the netiquette. What we do is that we have to properly orient the students as to when we are going to make use of the camera or the webcam. Now, recording online classes, as long as it has legitimate uses, for example, review the lecture presentations and viewing by students who are unable to attend, can also be done. What else? Next slide, please. Considering the principles of legitimate interest and proportionality during online proctoring, in which a student's test duration is monitored using a webcam, microphone, or accessing the student's screen. Now, weigh the interest of the students against those of educational institutions to determine the appropriate balance. Now, for the record, we already have a policy for on online examination. So let us just review the bounds of it and explain to our students very well. Next slide, please. And also, letting students decide whether they would turn on the camera of their devices. Unless na lang dun sa mga instances into which you require camera for some activities, checking of attendance, recitation, and the like. So this is actually the rule of thumb. They should be permitted also to use virtual backgrounds, virtual backgrounds. Now, this is the rule of thumb. But it does not hinder, so take note, it does not hinder the faculty to request for camera on during recitations and related activities. Baka lang sabihin natin, ma'am, bakit po camera on doon, hindi pwedeng camera on? So, again, the rule of thumb is this one. But it does not hinder the faculty to request for camera on during recitations and related activities. Now, please make sure to discuss our academic and related policies for online classes so that they are properly oriented from the onset or from the beginning. Now, we also have to ask our students regularly to assess students' understanding. Now, we can also allow them, if the camera is unavailable, we can also allow them to respond through audio, or video conferencing apps, chat and features such as the polls, the non-verbal actions like thumbs up, di ba meron tayong ganyan, instead of requiring them to turn on their cameras. So we do have options actually. And then we have the don'ts. So, some of which were made mention by Ms. Chua already a while ago. But just to reiterate, posting announcements that involve personal data such as grades and results of examinations are prohibited. For example, exam results should be given on an individual basis and not released en masse or by group. Now, sometimes na-excite si teacher, hindi ba, na-post niya sa group chat yung lahat ng records niya or yung scores ng estudyante niya during sa mga activities. So let us be guided with this. Now, allowing students to submit projects and assignments via social media platforms. Sabi ko naman kanina, I made mention a while ago that as much as possible, we have to make use of our LMS because we do have our Canvas. Now, if we allow our students to submit to social media platforms where we were not able to review the privacy rules and privacy policies, then we might be at the losing end on that. So as much as possible, we use our LMS. Now, storing personal data collected as part of the class in a personal account or device. Now, we do have our Fatima G Suite account, and part of that is our Drive, for example, Google Drive, where we can store activities and other information that we need to store. So avoid the storing it to personal account or device. And also, correlating students' use and eye contact with participation and grading and attendance. For example, giving students plus points if their cameras are on. So it's one of the don'ts kasi it has privacy concerns. And most importantly, so one of the don'ts, our president has made mention that all of us must be compassionate to our students. So it's a no-no to remove a student from the class or forcing them to turn on their cameras. So most specifically, to remove them from the class. Okay, turning the camera on, we do have policy on that. We can orient our student. Of the time into which they are supposed to be turning their cameras on. But removing the student from the class because they are not able to turn on their camera is a no-no based on privacy concerns, privacy policies. Okay, so it's a no-no. And then some few reminders. Next slide, please. So for our teachers, always keep in mind the OLFU, netiquette, and online classes policies. The previous speaker has made mention already of our netiquette. So always keep in mind of our OLFU faculty netiquette and online classes policies. We also have to review our Data Privacy Act and other related laws. And of course, we review our OLFU Data Privacy Manual. Next slide, please. And always remember, do not collect information you cannot keep. Okay? Or do not collect information which you cannot keep or those which are unnecessary. But there must be a proportionality in collecting information. So this is, next slide, please. So this is the copy of, this is the front page of our Data Privacy Manual. Next slide, please. And if you do have concerns, you do have privacy concerns, you can email us at dpo_olfu@fatima.edu.ph. And may I just reiterate the word from our NPC Commissioner. Sabi niya, mahalin ang sarili, pahalagahan ang data privacy. With that, thank you very much for listening. Good afternoon, everyone.
Thank you very much, Ma'am Lacelle, for all your reminders about data privacy. So I hope our new faculty members take note of what you said and will practice what you have mentioned a while ago. Again, ma'am, thank you very much. Now, the university truly appreciates the value of its human resources. And for almost a year now, since the pandemic started, OLFU has been exploring ways on how to better serve our clients and the stakeholders with safety and security as its top priority. And to share with us the programs and services provided by HRD, let us all welcome our HRD manager, Dr. Maria Cynthia C. Rojas.
Good afternoon. Welcome to our university, our dearest, dear new faculty members. I would like to share with you updates, programs, and services of the Human Resources Department. So since the pandemic started, as mentioned by Kay, the Human Resources Department has been conducting its business transactions, official transactions with employees, and other external parties, largely through online and up to the present time. So here are the range of services that HRD offers to its employees. We recruit up to now, no, we still handle recruitment of our manpower and from sourcing to deployment. And this is done, as I've mentioned earlier, largely online. Although, if needed, our skeletal force of HR staff report on campus on a needs basis. We also process employee requests such as, but not limited to, return to work, endorsements, loan applications, certificates of employment, leave availments, exit clearances, and the like. And we also handle communication of online advisories and advisories from regulatory agencies to all our employees and stakeholders. We also handle the submission of regulatory reports needed by DOLE, DOH, the Bureau of Working Condition, and the Valenzuela LGUs, as well as the LGUs where our campuses and our branches are located. And this is, of course, in coordination with specific departments concerned. We conduct administrative hearings, though we do not have very many labor and employee discipline cases. We also conduct exit interviews online and processing of exit clearances. Other services, we assist during accreditations, audits, and inspections where needed in terms of providing information or documents about faculty members and about human resource related data. We also cascade advisories to all our employees coming from DOLE, AITF, DOH, and the LGUs. We implement, together with other departments, health and safety protocols and employee engagement activities such as employee recollections, employee recognitions, and the like. And last year, last year, no, we were able to implement a total of about 10 runs of our webinars, ranging from our mental health series, our faculty and new employee onboarding programs, our OSH, or the mandatory DOLE occupational safety and health trainings, and our employee recollections. Our University Faculty Development Council was also able to implement its own webinars specifically and exclusively for our faculty members. Okay, I think I've mentioned this already. In the implementation of online engagement activities for employees, we closely coordinate with our Labor Management Council, or what we call the FEMAC, which stands for for Fatima Employee Management uh, Council. And then we also, through the RDIC, or our Research Development and Innovation Department, implement research initiatives for the university, particularly human resource HRD related research projects or programs. And I'd like to announce that if ever you will need forms from HRD, our forms may be accessed through OLFU's Google Drive in fillable formats. And I'd also like to inform our new faculty that should you need to interact face to face with our HR team, we have assigned our HR team per campus to report for duty on skeletal basis following the 410 schedule, 4 days on campus and 10 days off campus. But they do work from home during the 10 days off campus. Okay, I'd like to brief you on the uh, return to work protocols for employees. No, this is we have three situations here that employees encounter. So the first situation is if an employee is exposed to or had close contact with a COVID positive individual. Okay, these are the steps, or these are the protocols to follow. The first is to report such exposure immediately to the school physician for proper guidance and instructions. So if you have been exposed to someone inside the supermarket, at your home, or any other place where you have been to, and you feel that you need to report this because of some possible symptoms that you have been feeling, then it is okay to report it immediately to our school physicians. We have assigned a school physician per campus. So the 6 campuses have 6 school physicians available online to for a teleconsultation with you should you need to consult with them. And then after reporting it, the next step is to undergo the mandatory 14-day quarantine, and the school physician will actively monitor your condition. It is also advisable for you to regularly contact your school physician regarding your health condition. If you feel any additional or whatever symptoms you may be feeling later. And then the third step is, if without symptoms after the 14-day quarantine, the school physician will issue your medical certificate or fit to work. Then the school physician will require you to have another teleconsult with him or with her. And in that teleconsultation, the school physician may decide to allow you to either report on campus, or to resume your work from home or teaching duties. The fourth is, if needed, number four is, if it's needed for you to report on campus, no, we call it on campus duty or OCD, then there are steps to follow. So you need to be endorsed for on campus duty by your program head or your dean, and the purpose of which must be clear, and the specific date or dates of your on-campus duty must be specified in the request. The request will be forwarded or will be emailed to the Executive Vice President, Mr. Don August Santos, who will approve such request. Once the request is approved, you will be given a return to work endorsement by the HRD. If it is your first time to report for duty on campus, if needed, then you will be required to submit what we call a health assessment form, available also online. And this will be submitted to HRD, and the copy furnished our school physician, so that the school physician can assess whether or not you will be allowed to work on campus or to report on campus. Okay, so that's the first situation. The second situation is for PUIs, suspected, probable, confirmed cases, but already recovered. So here are the protocols. So the first is to obtain medical clearance, which specifies that you are fit to work from your personal physician. And COVID-19 test will only be required not by our school physicians, but by your personal physician. So you will only be required to undergo COVID-19 test by your own personal physician. Your personal physician will vouch for your fitness to work and resume your duties as an OLFU employee. So number two, if needed, if you are needed to report on campus, then the procedure for the first situation will also be followed, which is to seek approval from the EVP. To After approval is granted, then HRD will issue the return to work endorsement. And uh, there's no need to submit your health assessment form or your HAF if it is the second time that you will be reporting for duty. So you only submit your health assessment form if it is the first time. The second time that you will be submitting your health assessment form is after one semester. So every semester po yan. You will not be required to submit it each time that you will be asked to report on campus. If you are not going to report on campus and you will just be staying home, working from home, teaching from home, because we don't have face-to-face classes yet, and you feel good, you feel healthy, then there's no need for us to get a copy of your health assessment form. Okay, the last situation is for vulnerable groups, people or employees belonging to the vulnerable group. So who are these under the vulnerable group? These are employees with one or more than one vulnerabilities. And whether they are less than 60 years old or more than 60 years old, belonging to the senior citizen group, both are considered as under the vulnerable group. So what are the protocols? So number one, medical clearance or fit to work is needed from your personal physician, clearly stating that your vulnerabilities are controlled. Number two, medical clearance or fit to work certification may be used or renewed for 6 months unless otherwise indicated by your issuing physicians. There are ailments or comorbidities which require regular consultation with your own personal physician. But for comorbidities or vulnerabilities which do not require such, then your medical certificates stating your fitness to work will be submitted or renewed only after 6 months. Okay, number three, the usual, no, this is not the usual. Number three is to submit your signed waiver or an attestation of health condition and your HAF to HRD copy furnish the Health and Wellness Center or the school physician. The fourth is to request for approval in case you are asked to render on-campus duty. If not, then there's no sense in requesting for on-campus duty approval from the EVP. And then once approved by the EVP, then HRD will issue your return to work endorsement. Okay, next slide, please. The next slide are just reminders on in case you will be asked to, excuse me, in case you will be asked to render on-campus duty, these are the reminders. All employees reporting for on-campus duty must present the following. First is your return to work endorsement. The guards are very strict. They will not allow entry into the premises of the institution if you do not have the return to work endorsement coming from HRD. They have been instructed to be very, very strict because we are strictly following our health and safety protocols. You have to have you have to present your QR code or the Stay Safe Health Declaration. This will be scanned by the guards, and the guards would know how to do this. You must wear your face mask, your face shield, and must maintain the required physical distancing. And please bring your own personal hygiene kits. And just to review, you have to have an extra face mask, additional, you have to have an alcohol with you, 70% solution or sanitizer, and then your hand towel and toilet paper, which I think all of us have been able to remember and has become part of our handbags or our bags whenever we go out. Okay, so the next slide shows the staff of the Human Resources Department. We are a lean team composed of myself as the head. Your MC is Raquel Dumagit, our assistant HRD manager. And we have an HR supervisor, Miss Abigail Nunez, who is also concurrently assigned to handle concerns of Antipolo and Quezon City campuses, as well as helping out with concerns and HRD servicing for the hospital, Fatima University Medical Center of Antipolo and Valenzuela as well. And then for Cabanatuan and Laguna, our HR person assigned is Abigail Angeles. For Valenzuela, we have Jobel Nobleza. And for Pampanga, we have there's Claire Parel who is assigned to handle servicing for this branch. So I think that's about it. I thank you for your time with us this afternoon. And again, please allow me to officially welcome you as part of our OLFU family. Good afternoon.
Thank you very much, Dr. Rojas. So at this point, we would like to hear some directives from the payroll department. And here, to talk about the available benefits and payroll concern, let us all welcome the senior payroll staff, Ms. Rainiel Ortega.
Thank you, Ms. Kay. Good afternoon, everyone. I will be discussing the payroll processes. Payroll period and cutoff date. For Feb 14, it is from January 24 to Feb 8. And for Feb 29 payroll is from Feb 9 to 23. The basis for the salary computation during online classes, or what we also call flex academic learning, is regardless if it is a LEC or LOB synchronous or asynchronous, we will be using your LEC and lab rate for the computation. And for nursing faculty with 48 hours requirement for their semi-monthly basic, any excess hours will be paid on their corresponding LEC and lab rate. Now, work from home tasks or activities. If you have work from home tasks like attending to student queries while on enrollment duty, encouraging students to enroll, or you're a speaker or resource person in Google, Facebook, Zoom meetings and the like, are still under the approval of the administration for payment. Deans and program heads will be in charge in submitting the summary of the faculty who rendered hours for online classes. It is better to submit it one day after the cutoff date for checking and verifications. Payroll department has no authority to hold the salary of the employees unless we receive notice from HRD. And some of the reasons for suspension of salary are resigned, absence without leave, terminated, end of contract, not fit to work, and incomplete pre-employment requirements. SSS, PhilHealth, Pag-ibig, and withholding taxes will still be deducted to your salary every month. We have the new SSS contribution table, and you can check this table on the SSS website for your own awareness. For those who want to apply for SSS loan, you can apply through SSS website, sss.gov.ph, and please take note of the OLFU's SSS number that the website is usually asking before you can proceed to your application. Since we are still under the general community quarantine, all approved loans with check will be deposited to employees' ATM payroll account for the safety of everyone. We have already deposited checks in the employees' payroll account since May of last year. For our new employees, you can submit your statement of account of your existing SSS or Pag-ibig loan so we can immediately start the deduction and avoid the incurring interest or penalty. It is also important for you to submit the government-issued numbers, SSS, PhilHealth, and Pag-ibig for monthly contribution reporting. For Pag-ibig loan applications, you just need to visit pagibigfund.gov.ph and select the virtual Pag-ibig to apply for your loan. But this is only applicable for those who have already their cash card or ATM issued by the Pag-ibig. But for those without cash card or ATM, you need to submit your loan applications together with your requirements to Pag-ibig office so they can process your loan in your ATM. For this process, you need to download the multipurpose loan or the MPL form to their website. Fill out the necessary information and submit the application form to HRD for signature. So if you have any concerns or inquiries, please feel free to contact us through our official email, payroll@fatima.edu.ph, and mobile number so we can address your concerns immediately. Thank you so much, everyone, and keep safe. Thank you, Miss Kay.
Yeah. So again, thank you very much, Rain. Our final speaker for this afternoon will share with us salient points about COVID and how it affects our health, as well as the program and services provided by the Health and Wellness Centers of OLFU. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Sunny Talavera, our school physician assigned in Antipolo campus.
And I'll be discussing about health and wellness services for our employees. But to start with, next slide. So we talk about what is COVID-19. So during this pandemic, COVID-19 means that it's coronavirus disease 2019 caused by your SARS-CoV-2 virus, same that originated in Wuhan, China last December 2019. Same with the family of coronaviruses. Under this is your SARS-CoV-1 that caused the SARS in Asia that last April 2003, and also the MERS-CoV that caused MERS from July 2015. Since the SARS-CoV-2 virus in December, it's already been 1 year, and right now we are facing mutation of the virus. The most popular right now is the UK variant B.1.1.7, reported last December 14. Also known as the British Identified Variant, or BOC, means Variant of Concern 2012/01, which has a higher viral load, means that it has an increased transmission compared with the previous virus. Right now, there are other virus mutation like the South African, which is seen in 50 countries, same with your UK variant. And right now under study is the LA and also the Japan variant of the virus. The first case in Philippines happened in a male resident in QC from Dubai that arrived last January 7. Now, how does COVID-19 spread or transmitted? First one is your droplets. Droplets mostly are bigger, containing the virus, highly concentrated, but the distance is less than 1 meter. And that's why the 1 meter distancing is very important, and your mask as a protection. Also, the virus can be found in your body secretion and also fecal material that can be means of transmitting it to contact transmission, especially on surfaces and fomite, like frequently handled objects. And that is why hand washing, frequent hand washing, and also disinfection is very important as a protection. Next one will be your airborne transmission. Airborne transmission has smaller particle that contains the virus, and the distance is less than 2 meters. And that is why the distance has been 2 meters, and face shield is very important to protect us from airborne transmission. The most common symptoms of COVID-19 after the incubation can be identified: fever, chills, dry cough, tiredness and fatigue, and even shortness of breath, even mild or severe. Some of the minor symptoms can also be identified in fewer cases. Next slide. We have colds, sore throat, some case of nausea and vomiting and diarrhea. Right now, we have few cases of conjunctivitis or pink eye, we call it pink eye, headache, body pain, loss of taste and smell, and even rashes on skin and some mottling or discoloration of the fingers and toes. But the most critical symptoms can be found in our patient. Some of these severe symptoms are quite critical and have to be identified, like shortness of breath, and with bluish discoloration with the face or distal extremity. We call it a cyanosis in some patients, especially in severe cases, chest pain and pressure, also loss of speech and movement that can be mistaken for stroke, and also confusion and excessive drowsiness. Who are the most likely to present the most severe symptom if they are in contact with COVID-19? Children and senior citizens are, because of the immune systems. Children have a developing immune system, while senior citizen has weaker system. While individuals with health condition and disability, if not controlled, can put them at risk in having this severe symptom, and also delicate pregnancy. So protection is very important, especially for us at work and even at home. Practice frequent hand washing. This would prevent contact transmission. Practice proper cough etiquette, which is very important. Cover your when you cough, cover your nose and mouth with your hankies or in your tissues, and properly disinfect your hand. This would prevent airborne and also droplet transmission. Social distancing, at least 2 meters, very important. And this one would also prevent both airborne and also your droplet transmission. Wear the face mask and face shield all the time as a protection. Do not touch your eyes, mouth, and nose because when you have symptoms, secretion in the body contains the virus, and it could be means of droplet contact transmission. And if you are unwell, if you have the illnesses, stay at home until wait for further management. Now, if you develop some symptoms, especially fever, cough, and difficulty breathing, seek immediate medical attention or consultation. And remember, even at work or at home, regular cleaning and disinfecting of the house and your workplace is very important. Now, what are the available testing methods for to identify our virus? The rapid test is very important, one of the screening tests, but the problem would be the specificity and the sensitivity of the testing. We have the antibody test, which is a blood testing, which is mostly beneficial, especially in the later stage of the infection. We have also the more specific antigen test for rapid testing, which uses a swab test. Now, the confirmatory test for COVID-19 will still be RT-PCR or the swab test. This is accurate, especially on the early and even in the later stage of the infection. So what to do if you are tested positive? Track your symptom, especially check or record your temperature, the progress, together with other symptoms. Stay indoors at all costs. This is the quarantine that we're talking, and also isolate if you develop some symptoms. Rest and hydrate so that you can have immediate recovery, and inform your doctor about your case and the progress itself. Now, in our school, we instituted some of the safety protocol, and it's been mentioned by Dr. Cynthia. Upon school entry, no face mask, no shield, no entry. Checking of body temperature through your thermal scan, the foot bath for foot disinfection, and hand hygiene is very important to prevent transmission of the virus. Next. Important is that on screening upon school entry, online Stay Safe Health Declaration using your QR code is very important, and this is applicable for employees, students, and also our visitors. And this is monitored. The health assessment form to be filled up, this is submitted 2 to 3 days prior to the start of each semester for our employees. And a return to work is needed to be presented the first day of work of our employee on campus duty. If some of the symptoms or if the temperature is more than 37.6 degrees Celsius, patient will not be allowed to enter and advise consultation. Now, how about at your work area? Remember personal hygiene all the time. Disinfection of frequently touched surfaces and objects like your computer, cell phones, and you can wear your mask. You can wear gloves to prevent contact transmission. Physical distancing has to be observed all the time. Now, health and wellness develop also some of the health guidelines together with other department. And this is in accordance to DOH and IATF. We have health protocol with a step-by-step guideline, especially for health assessment form checking for our vulnerable group, accepting them, clinic consultation inside campus and teleconsult upon school entry, suspected patient that developed the symptom at home or in campus, and the provision of their isolation room, contact tracing, and together with the referral of COVID cases to our LGUs. Now, these are some important home health tips for our employees, especially for our new employees. Remember that you should get enough sleep. Even though you have many work, you have to get that sleep. This is important for body to recover and also to boost your immune system. Regular exercise is important to increase your cardiopulmonary stamina, and this one would increase your health. Increasing fluid intake, eating proper fruits and vegetables enable us to boost also our immune system. Take your vitamins. Be vaccinated, especially for those high-risk group. Flu vaccine, pneumonia vaccine are very important. For our high-risk group, regular consult and compliance to medication are very important. And also remember, isolation of sick family member is important. We will discuss some of our health and wellness services during this pandemic. First, because of on-campus duty, we still have on-campus duty. This is for our employees on campus. We have still consultation, physical consultation, but this is only limited to our general illnesses or injury that occurred in our employees during work time. And again, we refer other diagnosis that is not under the group. And again, we have also the teleconsultation. We have regular checkup, follow up, and monitoring also of our employees, especially if they're quarantined. Referral also is there, and also teleconsultation is used for our annual physical and medical examination. Although in some cases, if necessary, we do physical consultation. But again, clearance also of our vulnerable group. Health and wellness also do monitoring and health advice. Health assessment form is being checked by the school physician, and this to check first some of the symptoms that might develop in our patient during the quarantine time, and also contact with those who are infected, family members, or travel history of travel, together with specific vulnerability or high risk condition. Now, this would help us to assess the patient if they are under vulnerable if, or they are fit to go on campus duty. The stay safe also is being monitored by health and wellness to our nurses, checking our visitors, students, and employees that going inside campus. So this is also important for contact tracing. We have specific stay safe. So in Valenzuela, we have the bowel trace naman. Now, another one is the home monitoring of our employees who have been checked, done by our nurses, together with those employees that are being quarantined. They are being monitored about their present condition. Now, in-campus monitoring is critical. We check on our health and safety protocol being instituted inside campus. And this is facilitated by our nurses and together with our school physician. Next. One important requirement is the annual physical examination in compliance with DOLE requirement. Health and wellness is producing some of the important bulk of document that is submitted to DOLE. And most of our physician nurses have occupational training, both for physician, dentists, and nurses, to submit necessary requirement for DOLE with HRD. And again, part of this is the annual physical examination and medical examination of our employee, which is free. So in their birth month, employees would undergo the medical examination at FUMC, both Antipolo and also in Valenzuela. Part of the examination are your blood exam, including your complete blood count or CBC. This is to check for anemia and other blood diseases. And also we have the FBS or fasting blood sugar for screening for diabetes. And another one is the lipid profile to check for risk for heart disease. Another one is your chest x-ray done in your radiology department. This one is to screen for pulmonary diseases like tuberculosis and also pneumonia. Another one will be the 12-lead ECG done in the heart station. This one is important to check on the heart condition. Eye examination is also done in the eye center. And with all the result, health and wellness would gather them, and the school physician would do a teleconsult to assess the patient condition. So that through all this medical plus the physical exam, then we can check on the patient's condition if they're fit for work or for on-campus duty. And also we can check and monitor their vulnerability or high-risk condition. Next. Now, we have health and wellness program, but the most important program during this pandemic are your COVID-19 influenza and infectious control program. In this program, we develop protocols to prevent the further transmission and to help to prevent this infection. And again, telemedicine and development of protocols, seminars that we are conducting are very important to inform our employees. And also, we encourage immunization. So we have the immunization promotion program, especially for high-risk group, encouraging about HEPA vaccine, pneumococcal vaccine, and even flu vaccine for our employees. And these are our health services and programs for health and wellness. Thank you and welcome to Fatima for our new employees. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Doc Sunny. So at this point, we would like to share with you some videos containing the history of OLFU. So it will show how OLFU started and what it has achieved throughout the years. Another video will show the academic leaders of OLFU. We know that most likely you will not be able to memorize their names and their faces, but still it's nice to show you our excellent and good-looking deans and heads. And our last video will show you the core values of our beloved institution. So just sit back and enjoy the following videos. So it's really nice to see how OLFO began and who it is now. It is achieved a lot through the collective efforts of the whole team which you are now part of. Again, congratulations and welcome to Fatima. So as we come to the end of this online event, I would like to share with you some important instructions. Attendees are required to answer the online evaluation using the link. It will be shared on your screen. So that's the link that you have to use for you to evaluate this whole program. Please help us in improving our next webinars.